Okay, hello, welcome to your loops lesson. So in programming, we have something called loops, which is repetition of an action or a series of code. Python is no exception to that. We have loops in Python as well. There are two different kinds of loops. We have for loops and we have while loops. So what are loops, you might ask? So I'm just going to create a project placeholder to do some code work here for you. We are going to call this loops, simple loops, because we'll get to complex loops later. Okay, so suppose you wanted to print hello world 5 times. I know. Why would you want to do that? Great question. Okay. Okay, so suppose you wanted to print this 5 times. You could type it out 5 times, or you can be like Kim and copy and paste it 5 times. Yay, great. We're gonna run this. Wow, it printed off 5 times. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. But maybe we wanted to spare ourselves from typing all of this. We could instead, using our knowledge from math and numbers, we could create this as potentially an equation times 5, right? Because we wanted to print it 5 times. Go ahead, let's see what happens. Look, a string of 5 hello worlds. Awesome. Still not quite what we want. Maybe we want it to print 5 times because we told it to. So to do this, we would do something, we would set up some sort of instructions for Python to follow. One example would be greetings, variable called greetings, and we'll set that to 5 because 5 is that magic number today. We'll give another variable and we'll have it start at 0. Now, in this example, I'm going to use a while loop. While, and we're going to do some conditional stuff here, less than greetings. We are going to print hello world. Cool. And we are going to, underneath, because we want to make sure that it counts and keeps track of how many times you are doing the greeting, we are going to have the high count. This is a little extra that we'll get to eventually, but just so that you have a little preview to setting up a counter. So we have it starting at 0. We're going to count up every single time until it gets to 5. Hopefully it prints off 5 hello worlds. So we're going to print it. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay. So this is an example of a loop. In a way, you could argue this is more typing than copying and pasting hello world 5 times, but realistically, this would be a more structured way to code a repetition. Now, we're actually going to scratch all this. We're going to pocket that information about while loops and focus on for loops. So for for loops, I'm just going to leave some comments here so we remember how to do that. So for loops, classically these are used to count up numbers. So you would do something like for, and we'll say a number range of, let's say our number range is 0 to 20. So we did do a brief example of this with Ariel back at cohort when we watched her video, and she did a range of numbers for us. And so we are going to print off these numbers. Remember that when we print this range of numbers, it's only actually going to go from 0, oh no, forgot my colon. When we actually go to print this range, it's going to start from 0, but it is going to end right before 20. So let's say you did want to do it from 0 to 20, you would actually put 0 to 21 to include 20. One other cool thing you could do is you can have it counting by different numbers. So let's say you wanted to count by 5, you would add it to the end. So this is one way you would use for loops. Now for your activity prompt, we are going to have you create a list of things, in which case we'll use a little bit of concatenation, which we did also at cohort in my example, we'll be having a list of names and we'll be saying, hi, this is going to be your user account email name based on the information that it was given. So to do this, we are going to start off with a variable. So we're going to create a list of these names that we are inputting to Python so that it can use. Remember, when we're using a list, we have square brackets. And when we are calling strings, we have to put them in quotes. So we have Kim, and we have AJ, and we have Jose. Okay, I'm not going to type any more names because I type really slow. So in this for loop, we will do for x in my name, names. So for each of these values inside here, we are going to print off something using those values that were saved. So we're going to print off hi, and we want to add x to it. So we want to say hi to that person. We can go ahead and look at it now too. So we're going to start off hi. We have a list. It says hi to all these people. Now to take it another step further and add extra stuff, we can have, let's say we want to add some punctuation in, so add a comma. And then we want to do some concatenation to create those emails. We would do actually we would add a phrase first. Your email is, and then we would again recall those values from our list, and we would concatenate it to something like this. Let's make up a cool email address that we could use. And we're going to check and see if we have all of the correct plus signs, because there's a lot of them. And it's still angry because
your email is probably doesn't need the plus sign with the comma before it. That could only just be one string, right?
Oh yes. Yes. Don't know why it's still angry. We'll just run it and see what the error is. Invalid syntax over here on these quotes. This one. Yay. Thanks, AJ. Awesome. Okay, I think that's what it is. Yay. Syntax. Great. Syntax. Okay, so in your list you have these values, Kim, AJ, Josue, and you refer to them individually as X, and you're for this for loop, for each of these X values, you're going to say hi to them, which we have here, and then we're going to say your email is, and then we're going to concatenate their name, which was that value, with another string and give them an email. So suppose this list was a lot longer, all of this would be done in one click. We add Brenda, and we add Bobby. We added 2 more people to the list. Now if we play it, we will also have Bobby and Brenda at the end of our list. So we can continue adding to this if we wanted to, and it would be super easy. So that's all I have for you with loops. Hopefully that example is super helpful for you to do that blast project on your activity prompts. Have fun coding, yay!